There we are. It'll work better with the microphone, won't it? Right, let's try again. Greetings, honourable community. And it is my pleasure and privilege to give you a wonderfully warm, willy waving welcome to Sunday Night Live. And I'm overjoyed to be here with you again for an hour of community, togetherness, fun, and mutual misery, no doubt. And there's a few things I've got to talk about today. But above all, it's all about you. It's all about you, the pufflings, the fantastically, amazingly wonderful members of my inner scrotum, the people that make waking up a joy and going to bed a wrench, because I would love nothing more than to stay here talking to you guys all night. But you've got busy lives to lead. I've got sleep to have and supper to eat and all of that sort of thing. But nonetheless, this 60 minutes that we spend together on a nightly basis is absolutely the highlight of my diurnal anomaly. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference there. When you know, you know. And because it's all about you, I would love to hear about your day. How has it been? How's your weekend been? And how are you going to be spending the bank holiday tomorrow? And why is my finger doing that? How odd. Stop it. Stop it at once. What are you going to be doing tomorrow? Bank holiday, darlings. What are you going to be up to? I would love to know. My hands have gone absolutely mad. Now, this time last week, of course, I was getting ready to drive to Great Yarmouth. I wish I could stop this. I'm in a loop. Have some wine. Have some wine. That'll sort it out. Cheers, darlings. You're very good health. I hope you're well and happy. Oh, God, that's hitting the spot straight away. Straight away. Oh, my God. Oh. 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 That was a good one. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was the best one for a while, darlings. Oh, God. Oh, absolutely lovely. So let's get on with your comment, shall we? First cab off the rank tonight, as so often, it's Jimmy, Mighty, Quinn, good evening, Boaty and all, followed rapidly by Peter P., who wishes a very good evening to all the pufflings, and indeed me, which is nice. Stratospherean is with us, good evening. Oh, and straight in with the food talk, brilliant. Right, well, I'll get mine out of the way. If you're in the Facebook group, Boaty's World, which is highly recommended, you will have already seen mine. I had my garlic and mustard chicken. I had chipolata sausages. I had roast potatoes that were parboiled and then roasted in infused olive oil. I had Yorkshire pudding, hot horseradish cream, steamed green beans, and a rather delicious gravy. I think that was everything, and it was absolutely wonderful. Jimmy Quinn for lunch had half a chicken and chow mein. Okay, and dinner was battered scallops with salad. He does eat well, does our Jimmy, doesn't he? Peter P had a Big Mac for lunch and salmon soup for dinner. Salmon soup, gosh, that's a new one on me. The lovely Emma is with us. Oh dear, and says there's a hole in her tooth. What rotten news. At least you've got a tooth to have a hole in. Anyway, Emma says, good evening, Boggs and Bungholes. And she had sausages, mash, broccoli, and gravy for her din-dins. And then she goes on to shamelessly promote her own content. Honestly, the woman has no shame whatsoever. I might give out points for food tonight. Now, who was first? Oh, it was Jimmy Quinn. Uh, Half a chicken and chow mein. I'm going to give 2 points for that, Jimmy. Battered scallops with salad. I'll give you 4 points for that. Peter P. Big Mac. 2 points. Salmon soup, 4 points. Put you even with Jimmy. Emma's sausage mash, broccoli, and gravy. I quite approve of that. I'm going to go, 4 points. You can have 4 points for that. Peter P was watching Blot while waiting for me. God, what's he up to tonight? Matron's here. Evening all. Hello to everyone. I am on my phone and horizontal, so I won't be able to greet everyone individually. But just know that I am thinking it, even if I'm not saying it. Matron, we all presume that you're always thinking it. And most of the time you're saying it. Emma is also horizontal and says it's the best way to watch me. And goes on to say, by the way, this is Emma. Still not worked out what's wrong with my YouTube camera, what the issue is. So not sure if I'll be joining you tomorrow night. I'll have to let you know. Okay, fair enough. Hello all, says Jimmy F500. I am wrecked from watching Emma's videos. Please slow down. You will burn yourself and me out. It's only 2 videos. Andrew Buttigieg is here, the lovely Irish Spotty Butty, says good night to everyone. Martin North is here, bids everyone a good evening and a jolly good evening to you, Martin. Skick says a terrible weekend. Oh dear, sorry to hear that. Bum really sore. It drains my mood as well. Well, it would. It would. Take 2, Michael phone. Yes, indeed. I forgot the Michael phone. Hope you feel better very soon, Skick. Oh dear. Right, little bit too much information there. Cuddle and a cigarette next to Speaker P. I really did fancy that. Matron says, watching Boaty have a gasm while Skick talks about his bumhole. Sunday nights can't get better than this. Emma says, is he okay? I've never known anybody to go all shivery and wibbly over a sip of wine in my life. And I've known some right alkies. Oh dear. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is with us. Everybody's giving Skick some advice about his bunghole. Oh dear. Holly is with us, the lovely Holly. Hello, Boaty. I just cooked vegetable stir fry and mini duck spring rolls. Well done, you. 5 points for that, I think. Hang on. Jimmy Quinn says for supper tonight, ribeye steak and horseradish mash. I thought you said Jimmy Quinn. Hang about. So for lunch you had half a chicken and chow mein, and then for dinner you had battered scallops with salad. So where is this? And now you had supper as well. Bloody hell! Then it was ribeye steak and horseradish mash. That's a lot of food in one day. Half a chicken, chow mein, ribeye steak, horseradish mash, and whatever the other one was, battered scallop. Blimey. Very good though. And I think 7 points for ribeye steak with horseradish mash. Jimmy does eat well, Emma. Mark Prasad is with us, evening Boaty and evening chat. Lord Stiff Upper Lip says, Lady Stiff Upper Lip, had the cook prefer roast beef and Yorkshire puddings and all the trimmings. Oh, God, that sounds wonderful. Hopefully one day I'll be able to afford to eat roast beef again. I can't wait. Now then, what was I going to talk to you about? Yes. Now, YouTube and insane stupidity. Now then, occasionally I feel embarrassed about the dreadful content that I put out, and I try to improve it. And one of the ways of potentially improving it is improving the quality of the film itself. So the content will still be shit, but it will be more impressively filmed. And to that end, last October, I took out a small mortgage on the Never Never in order to get an iPhone 13, which was a significant upgrade from the iPhone 11. Now, this is where I've been very, very stupid, darlings. It has never occurred. Right. So you get a better phone. Yeah. Okay. Sorted. Job done. I upgraded my edit suite and I can now export my films in a better quality than I was able to before. Where I was stupid was I have never gone into the actual settings of the camera on the phone and optimized them. In 2 years of, or whatever it is, of doing this, it's never occurred to me to do that. My camera has just been filming away on the default settings. And guess what? The default settings are not the best settings for YouTube. And all of a sudden, that bloody that suddenly occurred to me. So I've been doing my research and this, that, and the other, and I found I haven't done it on my filming phone yet because this happened earlier tonight when I was at work. I didn't have my filming phone with me. I only had this one, my phone. So I went into the settings of this. There was so much stuff that I had to change. So much stuff. I can't wait to film something now because it's a whole different ball game. There are a load of really useful tools that Apple have in their camera app that'll be a massive help to really increase it, really improving the quality of your YouTube video. So first of all, there's the quality itself. The default settings are nowhere near where you need to be, nowhere near. But a lot of the really helpful things are turned off by default. So I've turned them on. I've got the quality where it needs to be now, and all of the things that were turned off, I've turned them on. And my God, doesn't life get easier? You're never going to be on the wonk again, right? Apple don't want you to be on the wonk. So they put in a thing that means that you won't be on the wonk, but it was turned off. It was turned off, darlings. Lots of things were turned off. The grid was turned off so that you can't apply the rule of 3 to when you frame your shots. And I had no idea about this, darlings. If you film with an iPhone and you've got it on your default settings, then what you think you're filming, you're not. Because by default, the view that you get when you look at what you're filming is not the view that is actually being recorded. The view that's being recorded is smaller than the one that you can see. So no wonder I've missed things when I've taken a photo or taken a video or whatnot. So that's been turned off. Now, the view that I see when I put my video on is exactly what I get. And it's, it's a different world, darlings. I've got, I'm just filming now. So I've got my grid. I've got my special thing that lets me know that I'm on the wonk or not on the wonk. The quality is different world. Oh, so how stupid have I been? I haven't even done the basics. I was thinking about upgrading my filming camera again this October when the new model comes out, either a 15 Pro or, if I can't stretch to that, a 13 Pro. Depends how much it works out a month. And I've not even been getting the best out of the equipment that I've got at the moment. So that is an example of not doing the basic things. You know, you say, oh, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to try and make it a thing. I'm going to try and make money from it. And you don't even do the bloody basics. I'm a very stupid man, but, you know, hopefully, if and when I get remonetized, this is going to be like a second launch. and I'm going to do all of the things that I should have done for my first launch. So I mean, that is just utterly, utterly daft to be. So that is my top tip to you. If you if you have a YouTube channel, if you film anything, ask about with your camera settings, because you'll be able to make them a lot better. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they should be, because at the end of the day, you are all competitors of mine. You're friends. You have community channels, but you're still my competitors. So I'm going to be kind. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to give you that piece of advice. But I'm not going to tell you what the settings should be. Find that out yourself, like I had to. I can't do everything for you, darlings. There's some other things I want to talk to you about as well, but I'm going to go back to your comments for a moment. Yes, Jimmy eats well. Lady stiff upper lip, prepared roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. Jimmy F500 had an exciting time. Oh, well, it's the old wine burp. We know it happens. Jimmy F500 had an exciting time defrosting his freezer. Great freezer. OCD. Watching the slab of ice falling from the roof and sides. I love that as well. That is one of the great joys in life. Yes, I do have an exciting life. Holly agrees with me and says, Jimmy, that is a lot of food. I only eat once or twice a day and nowhere near that much. But you're right, M&S fresh noodles are the best. I cooked fresh chili noodles just now and they're lovely. Fancy missing the comments when I'm trying to share what helps the pain, says Skick. Just in case it could help someone else that's suffering from similar discomfort. Yeah, well, they can read the comments, Skick. People have the gift of eyesight, so they can read them. I don't have to read everything out, especially when it involves that. Thank you, Skick, for the community service, says Andrew. Skick deserves this week's John Stoodley Award for his superb bunghole advice, says Emma. Don't use a screwdriver to loosen the ice in the freezer, says Andrew. I effed up my fridge by putting a hole in the freezer wall. Andrew, you're not alone. I did exactly the same. Never make that mistake again. I did notice, says Skick, I did notice you say to the young lad, take my arm and you'll be okay. Oh, in the cable car, yeah. He said, I don't think that bit made it onto the film, but he was sat in the middle in between myself and Emma. And he said, I need a pole to hold on to, because there's nothing for him to hold on to there. And it gives you that bit of security, doesn't it? So I put my arm across his chest like that and said, there you go. My arm is your pole. Hold on to that and you'll be totally safe. And I just kept my arm pressed against his chest, so it would have felt like he had a lap bar in and he clung onto it with his little hands. I mean, I was probably more frightened than he was, but you can't show it in front of them, can you? Emma says, my mother's asshole boyfriend stabbed it with a massive knife and did the same, Andrew, years ago when neither of them were dead. Yeah. Oh, timber spatula, says Jimmy F500. Yeah, good idea. Much better than a screwdriver. I have used that. I couldn't be dealing with that, says Holly. I bought a fully frost-free fridge freezer. No defrosting needed. 30 minutes was quick. Oh, I had a frost-free freezer somewhere when I was married or living with somebody else, and it wasn't entirely frost-free. Oh, yes, Skick, says Emma. Uncle Bunghole was helping to reassure little Lemon. Sherry is here and says, Holly and Jimmy, I love your dinners. Andrew says, I saw an ad t'other day for the latest Samsung Galaxy, nearly 3,000 Australian dollars. Feck me. Uh, hello, peeps, says Simone, the lovely Simone. How do I make chili noodles? Asked Sherry. I love spicy, chili, crisp. Would I just add that to noodles? Well, I'm sure Holly will be delighted to share her recipe with you. Her recipe. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was, getting into winter mode, but the new advanced dynamic winter mode. I decided to do something I haven't done for a while. I was having a look. I'm going to film a tour of the cottage. You've been asking for it for ages, so I'm going to do it. I might do it room by room. So, and it occurred to me that I've kind of neglected the cottage a bit, in that I've not looked for anything to improve it or anything like that. And so I just had a look on Facebook Marketplace and some local buy and sell groups when I had 10 minutes free. And I found, darlings, the most beautiful piece of oak furniture that would go beautifully in my front parlour. And it was on Facebook Marketplace and in the local village buy and sell group that I actually run, one of many groups that I run. And I looked at that and I thought, God, that would be perfect in my parlour. And it was advertised for nothing. Well, not literally for nothing, but like for pennies, much, much less than it's worth. And I've got a bit of a dark oak theme going on in my parlour, darlings. I've got my coffee table is rosewood, matching. It's shearsome, actually. Shearsome rosewood. It matches this one. It's like a smaller version of this one, and I love that. But the rest of the stuff in my, apart from the booze stand, the rest of the stuff in my parlour is vintage dark oak. And I saw this thing and I thought, God, that would be amazing. So I messaged, and it's cheap as chips, way less than charity shop money. Actually, I bet a charity shop would charge like £100 for this if it's as nice as it looks. So I massaged the advertiser, and it was still available. So I've agreed to go and collect it on Tuesday. So that'll be some content, won't it? And I'm really excited about that. And I know exactly where it's going to go, darlings. Oh, I do. And that's going to free up a little table that can move to the bottom of the stairs and can have a triffid on it, a nice pot plant. So, yeah, that's going to be exciting. And the other thing I've decided to buy, now, you've heard me mention on a couple of occasions lately, and not so lately, that I've gone to bed without my iPad, because I'm just so exhausted that I've just staggered up to bed with some kind of homing instinct. And when I wake up in the morning, I've got no idea what time it is. And I had the idea that I would like an old school clock radio on my bedside table. Yeah, I just fancied that idea, retro, old school. And I started looking for them on Facebook and on eBay. And I got totally obsessed with them, and they go for nothing. So I'm going to get the clock radio of my dreams. I'm going to get a Sony, forgotten what it's called now, Dreamcatcher, something like that. Sony Dreamwave, whatever it is. I mean, it would have been an amazing bit of kit back in the day. They're on eBay from $1.99 upwards, literally, just for pennies. But what a lovely bit of retro kit that's actually got some use as well. Because I love waking up to the radio. God knows how, the radio is the most important thing in my life. I don't have a television, but I couldn't be without my wireless. So I'm clutching my little tinkle over the excitement of going all old school and getting a proper old school clock radio. I'm dead excited about that. It's the little things. It's the little things, darlings. So that's going to be another part of this winter. I'm going to go back to, keeping my eyes open for little tweaks so that I can improve the cottage here and there. I mean, I've been here for 9 years or whatever it is, so it's not like there's stuff that I desperately need. But there are areas where improvements could be made. There are still a couple of bare spots that it would please me to fill with appropriate furniture. You wait until you see the bit for the front parlour, darlings. I'm going to pick it up on Tuesday in the Land Rover. It's not far away. It's only in the Hope Valley, and it's literally a couple of quid. So I can't wait to show it to you. Can't wait to show it to you. I'm getting all excited about these things again. I think that I've just got more of an interest in life and living at the moment, rather than just existing. Then I've suddenly got the motivation to really live rather than just exist again. And that's quite exciting. And it's carrying through to all things. I'm feeling that way about YouTube as well. Hence doing the research on how to improve my videos. And I'm coming up with ideas for videos, and actually videos that might get views as well. If you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, then you're a fool, aren't you? So I'm not going to go down. I'm not going to go down a full route of only uploading stuff that's designed to get massive views that doesn't really do anything, or is based on bollocks, or is just clickbait or anything like that. But I am going to try and tweak my videos so that they might bring in a little bit of a new audience, and improve the thumbnails as I have been doing, improve the titles, all of that sort of thing. Because I would love YouTube to, if I could just, it'd be wonderful to do a Sean and have a massive breakthrough and have, and for it to be life changing. But, realistically, we're not all a Sean, are we? Sean is a very personable guy. He's got a presenting style that really works, and he's worked in television all of his life, so he's got a bit of an idea what he's doing, and he's a bit of eye candy for the ladies, which all of it, 99.8% of his audience are female. So I'm no professional, and God knows I'm certainly not any eye candy or anything like that. But nonetheless, I've got some ideas of things that might, and you guys have all given me really good advice as well. The number one thing being, look, you live in an area that people travel from all around the world to see and to experience and to film, and you just drive through it. You never go on a walk. You never film anything. I mean, heights of bloody Abraham. I've lived in this part of the world for however long it is now, over 20 years, and I've never been there, never done it. So there's all of that sort of thing to do as well. But yeah, generally, it's just a reinvigoration of being excited about life and opportunity again, and feeling motivated to do more than just merely exist. And that's really exciting. And I've got all of you guys to thank for it. And in particular, I've got Emma to thank for it, because she really has jerked my arse out of its lulling complacency. And it's done me the world of good. So thank you very much indeed, Emma. And thank you, all of you guys, for going with it and encouraging me or us, and sharing the excitement and the planning and all of that. So and yeah, I feel that I feel a bit of a duty to you guys as well to try and give you some more interesting stuff to look at rather than just the same old drive to work and back and me rattling on. So greater efforts are going to be made, darlings, and they're going to be made across the board in terms of what I film, in terms of how I film it. Now I've started to get my head around all of that, in terms of how it's edited, how it's produced, absolutely everything. And I'm going to be making more effort as well to meet as many of you as possible in real life as well. So it's all really exciting stuff going forward. Oh, and the food and the cooking videos as well. I know a lot of you love those, so I'm going to do that. Sharing my home, giving you, letting you see the cottage properly. And of course, there are the secret projects that you lot can't know about yet. There is a reason why you can't know about them, especially the big one. It's not just us being needlessly secret squiddle, because it's not guaranteed yet. Something needs to happen before we can press the buttons and get everything to go. And that's out of our hands at the moment. We're waiting on something to happen. We can't control how quickly it happens. And until it happens, we're not going to say anything about it, just in case it can't happen. And then we've got it, then we'd have got our and your hopes up for nothing. But if it happens, you're going to love it. I promise you that. And God knows, so are we. Now then, let's get back to your massages. Oh gosh, I'm having to scroll back away. Goodness gracious me, you have been busy. Somewhere about here. Inspired by Emma's video, Boaty, asked Peter P. Well, yes and no. People have been asking me to do a tour of the cottage for weeks, months, maybe even a year, and I keep saying I'll do it. But yeah, I was a little bit inspired by Emma's video because I thought it was a good idea and I liked the way she did it, and I might steal that format because I would love to take you around my front parlor and talk to you about the meaning behind the things that are in there. I thought it worked very well. I enjoyed watching Emma's video very much. And so, yeah, definitely inspired by that a little bit. I was going to do it anyway because I've been promising it and I've been asked for it, but I might not have thought to do it in that way. And now I very definitely will. So I was thinking that I'll probably start with the parlor, and I'll probably do that on Tuesday or Wednesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, when I get this new piece of furniture. So, we can watch that all in together. So I can show you putting the new bit of furniture in, what I'm going to do with it, what I'm going to do with the little bit of furniture that it's going to replace, which is only tiddly and tiny. And while I'm doing all of that, I can give you a tour around the complete room. It'll work out well. Evening all, says Paddy Campbell, and a very good evening to you. Andrew says Emma has a very lovely and homey living room. She does indeed. Yeah, copycat, says Emma. Yeah, don't start. You're not the first person to film your bloody living room. It's everything on YouTube has been done before, or nearly everything. I'm not sure anybody did Boaty's Bogs before me. And I'm not sure anybody did the Mustard and Boaty do lunch thing before me. They probably did. Somebody's probably filmed themselves having lunch and done it unedited. Boaty's Bogs might be a first. Who knows? Boaty, says Holly, was yours not entirely frost-free? After the power went off and back on, that affected mine, and I can't remember, Holly, to be honest. I just remember that it was a very expensive thing, and it and it still got frosted up. Maybe we were doing something wrong. Neil is here. Hello all. Sorry I'm late. Was on the phone. I hope everyone is okay. I hope so too. What is the best spec on a Rangy? Asked Gick. Been looking at a few on the net. Some real bargains. Yeah, well, it's easy to buy a cheap Range Rover, but there's no such thing as a cheap Range Rover. It's what they cost to keep on the road. In terms of the spec, then I might be a little bit out of touch, and it depends what age of Range Rover you are looking at. But Range Rover have a different spec to Discovery or Freelander or Evoque or any of those, which they do the SES HSE, which is the top spec. Range Rover are different. So your top spec Range Rover of I'll talk about the L422s because those are the ones that I know about. So in theory, your top spec would be a Vogue SE, but there will almost certainly be a limited edition that will be a higher spec than that. And one that I'm thinking about is Autobiography. Autobiography is the highest spec Range Rover that I'm aware of. Other than that, you would be looking at a Vogue SE. You've got a normal Vogue SE or special equipment will give you a few bits and pieces above that. Oh, I would love a Range Rover. But I love my Freelander. I love the fact that it looks, drives, and behaves like a Land Rover, and I love the fact that it is the top spec. It's the HSE. Thank you, Andrew, says Emma. I love my living room and all of the meaningful pieces in it. Simone did her deliveries today, then spent time in the garden, de-weeding her rockery. Good on you. I spotted the Land Rover, Emma, says Peter P. Oh, right. Oh, that one. Holly says, Jimmy, so expensive and tiring to defrost. May as well have spent a little more for a fully frost-free one. I would love to see your rockery in garden, Simone, says Emma. Have you any videos? Paddy says, I thought you said that you massaged the advertiser. Surely that would have elicited a discount. Or possibly an arrest warrant. I always say massaged instead of messaged. Really, Peter, says Emma, you must have been studying my video hard regarding seeing the Land Rover. Simone hasn't filmed the garden as yet, but, there's always time. Watch the silent compressor film of Simone, says Skip. Great example of ASMR. I still don't know what that is. I remember clock radios waking me up many moons ago, says Paddy. I love them. I love the idea. I've got my heart set on a Sony Dream thingy now, and they did various iterations of them as well. And I'm doing obsessive research trying to decide which one is my favorite. I don't think I want to go too retro because I think I would like a digital radio one rather than an analog. But honest to God, you've got no idea how happy that's going to make me having a clock radio by the side of my bed. I can't tell you the pleasure that will bring. I love retro stuff. I love old school stuff. I love memories of childhood and times gone by. And I know why the clock radio appeals. I didn't always have a clock radio, although there were a couple of times in my life when I remember that I did. I remember that Sasha and I had one when we first lived together in the flat above the showrooms before it was all done out. But my main memory of the clock radio is the great big one that my mum had in her bedroom. And I think that's why it's going to bring me so much comfort. It's going to be memories of mum and home. Oh, excuse me. Holly tells Sherry that she bought chili noodles already made from the fridge section in M&S. All you do is heat them in a wok with whatever else you want in your stir fry. I think other shops sell them. Oh yeah, probably quite expensive. Sherry, dead easy to make chili noodles, darling. Absolutely dead easy. You can use fresh chili. You can use chili flakes. You could use chili powder. You could use, Sherry, are you still watching? This is what I would recommend. Now, if you're making Chinese style noodles, use this. Oh, don't want to spill any. You see? That's what you want. That will make the most amazing noodles. Have a look in your supermarket or your nearest Asian grocery and get some Chu Chow chili. Either the chilies themselves or the Chu Chow chili oil. Now, the Chu Chow chili oil is amazing. It's dried Chu Chow chilies from the Sichuan region of, I think it's southern China, isn't it? In oil and left it. It makes the most of the oil. Is amazing. You've got the chilies in there as well. Just add however many of the chilies you want so that it's to the spice heat that suits your palate. They're not stupidly expensive. I pay about £3 for one of those little jars, and it will last me for 6 months, something like that. And honestly, cook with those and you will never look back. Absolutely beautiful. But fresh chilies are always good. Just use green finger chilies. Leave the seeds in for a bit of extra spice. Chop them nice and fine. Get them in first thing in your little bit of oil so that they infuse the oil, and that will then infuse all of the food. Whatever you want to do. And as I say, if you want real convenience, then you can use dried chili flakes, or you could use chili powder. But add in a few other bits. When I do my fusion noodles, then as well as the chili, I also bang in hot paprika, turmeric, ground cumin, ground coriander, all the good stuff, So spice heat is always better when it's built in different layers rather than you just have one thing that just assaults your palate. It's always nicer when it's a blend and layered. Emma says, yes, it's red, but it's tiny. Mrs. She's talking about a Land Rover. Holly says, Emma, you're a fabulous advert for Marks and Spencer. Captain Mustard is here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Jimmy F500, getting ready for the demonetization. Oh, God, don't. Paddy says, I've got a 5 a.m. start in the morning, so I imagine a clock radio could be flung against the wall. Oh, good luck for your 5 a.m. start. You have my absolute sympathy. Bloody hell, it's a bank holiday, Paddy. Are you in the UK? What are you doing having to get up at 5 a.m. at a bank holiday? Oh, dear. Hi, Mustard. Great video tonight, says Peter P. Emma says, Mustard. Oh, how I have longed for your hairy presence. And Mustard would like us to know that he's still working on tomorrow's video. Oh, Monday tomorrow, isn't it? It'll be a Steve Berry video thing, won't it? I think they go out on Mondays. I think I'm right in saying that. You left that one bloody late, haven't you? If you're genuinely still working on that, I thought you had them in the can like a week in advance. I must catch up on the Steve Berry videos. I've only watched the first one. Boaty says, Paddy, we love your live chats, and I'm so glad I've become a subscriber. Oh, I'm so glad you have too. I'm very grateful. Very grateful indeed. Yes, says Skik, Emma has been good for you. She certainly has, and you've been good for her. I hope so, Skik. I hope so. I hope that it is a mutual thing. True that, Skik, says Andrew. Glad to have been of some help to you, Boaty, says Emma. And Holly is saying that the prices of the regular items at M&S are not dissimilar to those in other supermarkets. Didn't someone say, says Peter P, that Emma and Mustard are equally hairy? I should have filmed a tour of Windy Bum when I was there, says Emma. But yeah, it's really interesting to hear the meaning behind items in a home. I love today. Kind of the focal point of my parlour, I suppose, is my booze stand. I'm very fond of that thing. I remember finding it and buying it. That went into the Welsh cottage. It's one of the few things that I took from the Welsh cottage before I sold it. I love that booze stand. And what I did this morning, when I really didn't have time to do it, was I stripped it. I took everything off it. I cleaned it. I waxed it. I polished it. I threw away some of the stuff that really didn't have any time, shouldn't have been on there. I've redressed it. I've rearranged it, and it's magnificent again. I really enjoyed doing that, and of course, it meant that that I got. But honestly, there's much like Emma, the stuff that's in my parlour. Now, my parlour is a bit more bachelor-like than Emma's living room. It's a bit more bare, I suppose. But what is in there has all got meaning to me. And I would love to, I love doing those sort of videos. So I'm really looking forward to taking you around there and explaining the history behind everything. Pretty much everything in there has got a story, and some of it goes a lot further back than you would expect. Yeah, I've got a couple of bits in there that are going to be going back 35 years, something like that, which, in terms of history isn't very long, but in terms of my life, it's quite a long time indeed. Oh, I'd love to be taken around the front parlour, says Matron. See what I mean? We know that you're always thinking about it or talking about it. You can't help yourself, Matron. I would like to be taken in the front parlour, says Emma. Oh, God, you're as bad as your sister. I would like to see the way your front door opens, says Peter P. Oh, I think I've done that, haven't I? However, says Emma, I upset the ghost just walking through it. You did. Sherry says, Holly, I've only become a spice person recently because of my lack of air conditioning for the last 2 years, which will be over immediately, but it makes you so hot that I've been craving salt and spices so much. Yeah, for those who don't know, eating hot food is one of the best ways of reducing your body temperature. It sounds counterintuitive, I know, but it is a fact. Trust me. I must have missed Emma's house tour, says Sherry. She did a tour of her living room, but it only went up today. So it's there for you to watch. I love watching those type of videos. Looking forward to yours. Did that storm? Did it happen? Was it bad? Um, Oh, by the way, clock radio was my only way to get up. The storm did happen. Yes, it was bad. Roads were closed, trees were down, and the weather has been pretty bloody awful today as well. Tonight, we've had howling rain, and uh, I haven't looked at the forecast for tomorrow, so I don't know what it's going to be like. But I hope whatever you've got planned for your bank holiday tomorrow, if you've got a bank holiday tomorrow, I hope the weather isn't too bad for you. Holly says, Sherry, no worries, you're welcome. Air conditioning, we don't have that in UK homes. It's true, we don't. I have a heater with a cool setting I use. But that's interesting. It makes you crave salt and spicy foods. Yeah, because hot food, best thing that you can eat. Oh, what's that? Hang on. A car just stopped outside. I think it's Nick and his missus either just driving back or getting a taxi back. Anyway, none of my business. Neil says a Freelander is the best one of that era. The Defenders were a bit expensive to repair and maintain, as everything on them is a problem area. Yeah, I agree. I love my Freelander. I absolutely adore it. I drove it on, I used it for Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. It is still this week for another 7 minutes. And I loved every minute of driving it. Now, if the thing that I've been talking about happens, there's going to be a massive change in my car fleet. And I mean massive. But we'll talk about that if and when. I love nostalgic memories, says Paddy. Right. So Holly chopped carrots into batons, mushrooms, pak choi, fresh garlic and fresh chilies, and added a sachet of Wagamama stir-fry sauce towards the end. Well, that does sound good. Oh, right. Neil. Oh dear. Two of the cuts have healed perfectly, but one of them is fighting and has reopened. May need to get back to the doctors if it hasn't fixed itself. Oh, that doesn't sound brilliant. Oh, Paddy is in Ireland. Oh, right. Thank you, Paddy. I like to know where people are. I like that sense of connection. Emma says, so have you decided what you two are having for lunch tomorrow, Boaty and Mustard? Well, Mustard's probably buggered off to work on the other video. I'm having a takeaway. Sod him. Unless he's gone to some massive effort and cooked something for me, and he won't have, then I'm going to have a nice takeaway. I had I had a £10 tip tonight, and that's going to buy my takeaway tomorrow. He never prepares anything. His idea would be to go to the Aldi and buy some eggs or something to make a sandwich. Sod it. I want my Monday takeaway treat. He can have what he wants. I fancy. Well, actually, what shall I have tomorrow? What do I fancy? I don't want to go to Istanbul. I fancy either. Now it's a bank holiday, so David's Chippy might not be open. But I fancy international chippy. Doner kebab. Or something with those amazing chips. I love the international chippy. and I love their doner kebab. That's what I fancy for a treat. And I fancy making a lunch video in the caravan while it's still there, because he's determined to get rid of it. Excuse me. Oh, uh, yeah, international chippy. I do fancy that. I like the whole thing. I like driving to the Milkstone Road. I like the games that we've invented to play while we're driving there and back. I like the people in the international chippy. I love having lunch in the caravan and filming it. I love all of that. I'm actually regretting now that I didn't that we didn't do more with the caravan. But it's just kind of typical, isn't it, of us and the way that we work and the way that the yard works. It's, things just tend not to be so dynamic. I was watching a video today from somebody who looks like they're living the dream. They've got a caravan on what's called a seasonal pitch. So the caravan it's a touring caravan, but they've got it parked up on a little farm pitch in Snowdonia, and it's just there all year round. You can only access the park properly, as in stay overnight, between February and October. But it's there all year round, and you think, oh God, how amazing! And she's done it beautifully. And she looks as if she's just got the life of Riley. She's got this beautiful caravan with this beautiful setup in Snowdonia that she can escape to and go on amazing walks and all of that. And she's in the process of doing up this beautiful motorhome and all of that. And you think, oh wow! But then when you actually get into it, and look at the prices, not that expensive, not stupidly expensive. So this beautiful caravan of hers, she paid £1,000 for it, did it up herself, spent about 400 quid doing it, and the seasonal pitch cost 1,200 quid, 1,200 quid a year. So you break it down day by day, week by week. That's not bad. That's actually not bad at all. I mean, that makes it within the realm of. And she was saying that people think, oh, you've got all this money for this, that, and the other. She said, I haven't got any money. I do it on the cheap. I learn how to do things myself. And I love that idea. God, imagine if YouTube just took off a little bit, so that you could have a caravan, a cheap caravan that you did up on a seasonal pitch, and and her motorhome as well. It's I mean, it looks absolutely fabulous and amazing, but it was like a dirt cheap, knackered motorhome with no MOT, and the inside was completely fucked. So it would have cost her about, I don't know, 400 quid, 500 quid scrap value, something like that. And now it looks like a bloody palace, and it's just a bit of time and effort. So just goes to show, if you've got the right attitude, you can have kind of an amazing life without necessarily having to have a horrendously huge amount of money to do it with. So yeah, I wish we'd done more with the caravan. It's a shame. Because all of the ideas that we had and the ideas that Mustard had, and looking at what she did with hers, we had a roadworthy, watertight, non-leaky, non-damp, non-moldy caravan. We could have done amazing things with that, and instead it just got shoved into a corner, and now it's just a nuisance, and it's going to have to go. I hope somebody rescues it and makes it wonderful. Yeah, there was an opportunity to do something there. Uh, I like the idea of having a touring caravan on a seasonal pitch. somewhere really cheap, because you can pay up to 4 grand for a seasonal pitch. But if you go somewhere really basic, that's like just like a farmer's field somewhere, and they put a very basic thing in, like a little thing with a couple of showers and a couple of bogs, and you're basically just on a field somewhere beautiful in Wales. Get yourself a cheap caravan for a grand or something like that. Put the effort in, make it nice and lovely, and you've got a holiday home. You could spend, head up there every weekend, or if you were YouTubing, then you could base yourself there half the week or all of the week if you wanted to. What a wonderful idea. I think that's what you've got to do, isn't it? Maybe that's one of the keys to having an enjoyable and lovely life. Maybe you've got to be brave. Maybe you've got to think outside the box. And rather than just accepting what life throws at you, okay, I live in wherever I live in. This is where I was brought up. This is where I feel comfortable. So this is where I have to live. And that means that I have to pay 700 quid a month to rent a house that I don't really like very much, or a flat or whatever. And maybe you've got to think outside the box, and rather than just accepting the way things are, find a way to make things better with the ideas that you've got to hand. I love that. I love that idea. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure most people would love to have a holiday home. I used to have one. I had my Welsh cottage. We went there every weekend, and in the school holidays. It was kind of an expensive thing to have. I could afford it then. I could easily afford it. Obviously, I could never afford it now, and many people wouldn't be able to afford it now. But I bet many people, especially, I bet loads of people could afford 1,000 quid caravan, and if they were just brave enough to learn how to make it beautiful inside and to fix what needed to be fixed and improve what needed to be improved, and all of that sort of thing, thought outside the box a little bit, um, they could have themselves something really quite amazing. You've got to be prepared to try and think outside the box. And I'm the worst at doing this, so I'm not being holier than thou and saying this is what I do. You should do it too. I've never done it. I've never done it. I had an amazing life when I had an awful lot of money. I've kind of got an amazing life now, even though I'm skint. But it could be even more amazing if I did things like that and thought outside the box a little bit. So there you go. Instead of having a couple of cars parked down the road there, then for the same kind of investment, I could have had a caravan parked up on a seasonal pitch somewhere in Wales that I could escape to every Monday. Although you'd kind of need to have 2 days really to make it worthwhile. Not really worth it for the one day. But you get the point. You get the point I'm making. Think outside the box a little bit. Time is marching on, darlings, isn't it? Time is marching on. So let's whiz through some comments, and then where did it get to? Ah, that's right. Holly says, Jimmy, I was paying £2.20 for 2 separate portions of a moi straight to wok noodles, avoiding M&S fresh ones because a portion is for 2 people. But I cooked those all and will freeze the rest or eat tomorrow. There you go. There you go. Battered hedgehog tomato, asked Peter P. Yes, Boaty, says Sherry. That is what I refer to as spicy chili crisp. I've only discovered it this year, and I love it. The one at Walmart does come in oil and is from China. Same price here. Thank you for the tips. Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Sherry says, Holly, I screenshot your cooking suggestion. Sounds very good. Also, I'll be using Boaty's suggestions. We call it bok choy. Is that what you meant? Boaty is a curtain twitcher, says Emma. I am when there's headlights right outside my window. Peter P says, Emma, the Google answer is that the holes in the perforated leather allow air to circulate more easily through the seat, keeping you and your passengers cooler and more comfortable. That's what I said. That's what I said. Is it not on a video somewhere? I said that. Paddy says, time for me to take the Wooden Hill to Bedfordshire and hit the hay. Have a safe and peaceful night, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I did, Emma, you fibber. I told you that. I told you they were there for ventilation reasons. Mm, excuse me. Ooh. Emma says, Boaty, you have a caravan. Get doing it up. You could do the same as the lady. It's a little bit small. It's a little bit small. If I was going to do it, I'd do it with a bigger one. But it is something to think about. It's a it's a bit small. It's a bit small, and there are yeah, no, I would definitely do. I would do it, but I would do it with if it's going to be something like that, then it needs to be just a little bit bigger. Um, George Rajabati is wonderful as a touring caravan, light, easy to tow, all of those things. But if it was going on a seasonal pitch, then you'd want a bigger one so that you could just be a little bit more comfortable. Um, really, if you've got one on a seasonal pitch, you want one with a fixed bed. You don't want to have to swap between a bed and a dining table every night. You'd want one with an actual fixed bed that's a bed all the time. Time and effort, says Skick. Absolutely. Get the caravan parked outside yours and I'll come and do it up for you, says Emma. uh, you just had cushions, wouldn't you, Emma, says Peter P. Well, cushions would feature, says Emma, but no, I love DIY. I've always done all of mine myself. It's a lovely caravan and could be done up beautifully. Skick says, to be fair, a lot of your time is taken. You work full time. That is kind of the problem, in fairness. I'd love to. I'd love to have 2 days off a week instead of just the one. I'd love to be able to afford to do that. It would open up a lot more possibilities. Bring the caravan to Norwich, park it outside mine, and come and collect it in a few months, says Emma. See what I would do with it. I'd thought about, I can't say, I'll have to message you because I had the same idea, but not with the caravan. Ah. Oh, I pretty much caught up with the comments. That's nice. Right, start saying good night. Good night. Start saying your good night, darlings. Tricky chaps, words. I need to get off and get some supper and all of that kind of crazy things. But I've enjoyed tonight as well. I'm just so optimistic and upbeat about everything at the moment. Let's hope that that continues. Let's hope that I don't fall back into a malaise where it's just about existing for another day. Um, my dad bought a holiday cabin by the seaside years ago, says Andrew. I only went the I only went once. Dad got fed up with paying site fees and sold it. Yeah, it's not for everybody. Some people like the idea and it doesn't work out. Some people really make the best of it. The lady on this YouTube channel that I'm rapidly becoming obsessed by, and she's not a big YouTube channel. She's trying to get her channel monetized at the moment. She's trying to get to 1,000, the old 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So she's only tiny, but my fair play. She's got a handle on her life. I'll give her that. Saturday Night Fever, blimey. Oh, you got it, Emma. Well done, well done. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I thought that could work. There's a direct train. I just have to get the train back, and then in whenever, um, get the train back there. You know where I'm going with it. And people have started saying good night. Malaise is forbidden, says Emma. Good to see a happy Boaty, and I won't allow you to fall back into a malaise. Oh, bless you. Thank you for, thank you for, I'm paying a matron, blimey. Enjoy your bank holiday over there, says Jimmy a 500 in Ireland. We have to work tomorrow. So, there we are, there we are. Emma, I thought of a name. I'll ping it to you. There we are, there we are, there we are. Right, tomorrow night, Monday, isn't it? Tomorrow night. Hopefully Emma will get her shizzle sorted and it'll be a joint, but at the moment we don't know. There will be a live stream tomorrow night, darlings. It will be at the earlier time of 10 o'clock. I'm not sure who's going to be on it. But there we are. There we are. I'm sure, Emma, I'm sure we can sort it between us. The day before, the day tomorrow, Boaty. Thank you, Peter P. Thank you. Very helpful. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to getting to the yard and catching up with mustard and all of that sort of thing. I'm looking forward to having my supper in a minute, and I'm just very excited about everything. So, and of course, the 27th, darlings, that's on Tuesday. Not long away now, is it? Although I'd forgotten that it can take up to a month after you apply for monetization to actually get it. I don't know if any of you guys can remember how long it took. I'm sure it wasn't a month or anything like that. I'm sure that I got approved quite quickly after I applied. I'm sure it was nothing like a month, but I can't remember how long it was. The only downside is, when I was looking into that, is that if for any reason they reject me, then it's 3 months before I can apply again. Because I've been monetized, then anytime I'm demonetized, it's 3 months before I can reapply. If you're applying for the first time and you're refused, you only have to wait 21 days before you can apply again. But for me, 3 months. Anyway, hopefully it won't come to that. Okay, I'm going to bugger off. Thank you so much for your company. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tickling the like button and all of that good stuff. May I wish you all a safe and peaceful night. And those of you who have a bank holiday, well, in fact, all of you, whatever you're doing, whether it's work, bank holiday, shenanigans, whatever, have the best day that you possibly can tomorrow. Skick, I hope your rectal issue improves. Neil, I hope your wound heals. John, hope you're doing all right, mate. Got your message last night. Oh, and I said I'd say hello to Amrit, who said he was going to watch but not comment because the chat moves a little bit quickly for him. His English is absolutely brilliant, but he's not confident that it's as brilliant as it actually is. So, hello, Amrit. Have a great day off tomorrow. I will see you on Tuesday night. And hello to hello, Sam, if you're watching, Prabina, and any of my other work colleagues who are watching but not commenting. So have the best day you can tomorrow. Take a big old chunk of joy from any element of it that you possibly can. Have yourself a safe and peaceful night. Take care of yourselves and take care of anybody who you love or who loves you. And let's all not be afraid to think a little bit outside the box, to grab an extra little bit of joy here and there with whatever it takes. Maybe it would just be a £2.99 eBay Sony clock radio. God, I can't wait for that. I'm going to make a great video about that. And there we are. And take pleasure in food, which is what I'm going to do with supper. I can't wait. And lunch tomorrow as well. All right, I will catch you tomorrow night, darlings. 10 o'clock, Monday Night Live. Much love to you all. Thank you again. See you tomorrow. For you and indeed.